not a game, not the game that I go out there and die for.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man? That nigga's tripping.
Every single week, I put my freaking heart and soul into this. I study my ass off.
You know why I'm here.
Don't you open your mouth.
Back rocking with the best sports podcast of all time.
Full time.
More to say with Mac, Nip, and DK. What the fuck going on, fellas?
What's up? What's poppin'?
Listen, I ain't gonna hold you. Normally, I ask y'all how y'all doing, how y'all quarantine been doing. But this time, we got a 3-time Pro Bowler in the building. So I honestly don't give a damn how y'all been doing. Let's introduce my man, Jalen Ramsey, to More to Say.
What it do? What's going on? How you doing?
I'm good, man. Finally getting a little time to wind down. I apologize for the delay.
Nah. We know how it go. We know how it go.
But I know you said you was training with your dad. So is he out there in LA with you, or you just thugging it on your own?
Nah, when I'm out here in LA, I can go to the facility. So I just I work out there with like my trainers and the strength coach. But when I'm in Tennessee, I'm with my pops and my brother strictly. But from time to time, obviously, them the two I trust the most with my training and with my body. So I'll hit them up if I ever am dolo doing something. I'll hit them up to send me workouts or whatever. Or they both firemen too, so their schedules can get hectic at times. But when they free, they'll come out here and we can get it in with the grind, whatever we need to do.
You said your brothers and your pops, right?
Yeah.
Growing up, who was the like players that you most looked up to? Was it your brothers?
I mean, my brother, he obviously he was my biggest inspiration. He like 3.5 years older than me, so
yeah.
So he got to go through everything that I went through in life. Just at, in an earlier time frame. So I got to see a lot of things firsthand that a lot of young guys I don't think are blessed enough to see. Like I got to see him go through the recruiting process, even though it was at a smaller level, it was like mid-major schools. It was still, I got to see that whole process. I got to see the thrill in that. I got to see just his journey, his grind, how tough it was on him, scheduling everything and managing everything. So I got to learn really from, the things he did well and his mistakes that he may have made. My brother was like he always embraced it, and he taught me. Like me and my brother super close still to this day. So he wasn't one of them big brothers that was like, man, my little brother be tripping trying to hang out with me. He was like,
he let you come along.
Yeah, he was like, I want to show. He was, trying to show me the game, really show me what it is and what it ain't, because he knew, you feel me? He knew the vision. He knew that I was gonna be everything that I wanted to be and who I am today.
And
so you my bad, DK. You said you're from Tennessee. So is it true you originally committed to USC, but we all know you ended up going to Florida State? What went into that decision?
Yeah, man. My two dream schools growing up was Miami, so the Hurricanes, ironically, and USC. And Miami, they didn't offer me.
Shit.
And it was one of the few schools that did not offer me. Miami didn't offer me, and then USC offered me. And right when they offered me, I was ready to commit. And my parents had told me to just wait it out. Go through the whole recruiting process, enjoy the whole process, because it was something that I earned to be able to do that. But being a hard-headed, I think I was 15 or 16, being a hard-headed 16-year-old, I say, I still went against the grain a little bit, and I committed to USC. Yeah, I committed to USC before my senior year even started, and I was ready to go. I had no hesitation. Like, it was my dream school. I was ready. Took a few unofficials out here. That was like one of the last year of the sanctions too. So we only had 15 scholarship dudes coming in. So we all knew each other. We was all like the Army Bowl, Under Armour Bowl. Like, we all knew each other. We was close. Like, still to this day, I still holler at them boys. They still some real ones. But yeah, man. What basically happened was they had just fired Monty Kiffin, and they had brought in a new DC who I just wasn't rocking with. And it kind of, in my mind, I was like, man, do I really want to go all the way across the country to not be sure about my situation? And so Florida State it was actually Florida State and Florida were like 2A and 2B. And it was, I remember talking to like Vernon Hargraves, Keanu, Marcel, all them boys, and I was super, super close to going to Florida. Super, super close to going to Florida. But something I remember asking my pops to pick for me, because I was like, you got to think, like, when you like 17, 18, this is the biggest decision you don't ever had to make in your life. You feel me? So,
sure.
I remember the night before signing day, I had called my pops, and my mom was at the crib. My pops was at work. He a fireman, so he was at work, and I just straight up asked my pops. I was like, man, can you pick for me? Like, I can't do it. And he was like, man, nah. He was like, you gotta make a decision on your own. Like, you gotta it's your life. I ain't making no decision. Then you gonna be mad at me, whoop de whoop, whatever. He was like, man, you're a man. Make your decision. So I went home, man. I prayed about it. Man, I think I was even crying that night, dog, because USC was like really my dream. Yeah. And then I was just like, I felt it. I felt it in my heart that Florida State was. I prayed on it, and it just came to me like, yeah, Florida State the place for me.
Hell of a choice. You got a natty there.
That's a great choice. Hey,
the first year.
I was watching Deion Sanders and Jalen Mills. They was on IG, and they had a conversation about who's DBU, and they was talking about LSU and Florida State. And I know you talk about USC and Florida. Who do you think the DBU is?
It's Florida State without question. It's Florida State, but lately, LSU, I can see where they think they have a very valid argument. Because they got some dogs right now in the league playing DB. About 3 or 4. Yeah, about 4, maybe 4 or 5. But so they on the up and up right now. They got a young buck right there at LSU right now. Probably gonna win the Thorpe for the next 2 years.
Yeah.
He really liked that. And Florida State, we've been struggling for a little minute ever since Derwin left. We've been struggling a little bit, so we ain't really had nobody pop off quite like any of us since Derwin left. But if you look at the track record from like all the history, we DB. Like, it ain't no question. Like, we for sure DBU. It ain't no question.
Yeah, one of the reasons why we started this show is just because we felt like a lot of these sports shows be talking about like outdated shit, just be searching for the headlines, and they don't really give like athletes a chance to like speak for themselves. So like, what would you say, since you've been in the league now, what's one of the most common like misconceptions or false narratives the media has painted about you?
Man, to be honest with you, I'm a troll. I'm gonna keep it real with you, like, and it's like, I laugh at most of the stuff I see just because at the end of the day, like, my day ones, like my real ones, my teammates, people who actually done been able to interact with me and be around me, they know what type of time I'm on. They know what type of guy I am. So anything anybody else say, I don't really care. To be honest with you, I mean, some stuff can get outlandish. Like, I don't really want to even be my name attached to it or nothing like that. But for the most part, I just don't pay it no mind, to be honest with you. My family get madder than I do. They hit me up hot about something going on. I'm like, man. So I'm like, forget them. It ain't doing nothing to me. It ain't stopping my shine, my grind, nothing. I'm gonna keep it pushing. But mostly they just don't know me. You know what I'm saying? They pay me to be the villain a lot of times, pay me in however pictures they want to, but at the end of the day, I don't really care. my NFL peers know what's up. They got to respect it. So
Yeah, I think your game speaks for itself. Like you talk a lot, but you damn sure back it up. But has there ever been a time where you be thinking like, damn, maybe I should have shut the hell up on this one, or just said like they don't need my attention. Like it's not even that important to respond.
100%. But and then I found myself trying to dial it back at certain times. You know what I'm saying? And then I noticed, like, even when I was dialing it back, they would take one little headline or one small portion of what I said, and they would blow it up and make it something 10 times bigger than it really intended to be, or that my tone was speaking in it. You know what I'm saying? It could be completely different. And I found myself doing that, like going in interviews sometimes, like chill or not giving them nothing much, and they would still make a story out of it. So after I got the vibes and figured all that out, I was like, man, I'm gonna just be me. At the end of the day, like, they gonna rap what they want to write. They gonna do what they want to do. I feel them. They gotta get views. They gotta get papers sold. Whatever the case may be. I don't even be tripping on it no more. I'm like, man, it is what it is. I done been painted the villain so much. I'm like, all right, I'm cool with it. Whatever.
Man, as long as your two little black queens happy, then that's all that matters, man.
I'm telling you that man. Once I started putting everything in perspective, like, man, I'm not about to change who I am for nobody, especially nobody who doesn't affect my life directly, or that I'm not affecting their life. Man, I got a family. I got daughters. Man, I ain't worried about none of that. I know who I am at the end of the day, so I'm good. You
watched that Jordan doc that just came on, right?
For sure. Yeah.
I know you used to be with Jordan. Weren't you with Jordan Brand before you?
Yep. I started
watching that and then signing with Jordan Brand. Did you get any in person, like just being around him and catch the vibe of how he is?
Yeah. I mean, he is who he is all the time. He's super competitive. I thought it was funny, like the little gambling episode, because with Jordan Brand, when I was with them, we always had like brand trips every summer. So wherever, and I think my first year was the Bahamas. We went to the Bahamas, had a resort and everything there. They first class, obviously MJ, you know how he gonna do. And I remember usually everywhere we go, it's a casino and a basketball court or something, and they gonna get to competing and gambling, everybody, and obviously he ain't worried about it. Everybody wearing Jumpman stuff around. He got it. He's super competitive, man. So that episode was funny, just like hearing that, like hearing how everybody took all of that. But that's just who he is, super competitive. Really, when it's time to compete, he only got one speed, and that's 100. And that's what made him great, man. So you can't do nothing but respect it.
Were you able to like you talk about his greatness, and I know you trying to be one of the greatest corners to ever play the game, that mindset that you have and going 100%, did y'all get to connect on that level also?
No, it was more chill vibes when we connected. I mean, we did, like I say, he's super competitive, so we did have competitions while we was there on like the trip, on the vacation. We would have like teams would get together or whatever, and we would have competitions. So I think one year we had like, man, it could just be something fun, but we was gonna compete though. Like one year we had like a lip sync battle or something like that, man. It was like Lamar Woodley, like the Les Twins, it may have been Ray, Mello. I don't know if Mello was on my squad, but it was basically everybody going at it, competing, dog, and it turned them up, man. It really turned everybody up. I mean, kind of everybody in the brand got that type of persona about them and that type of mindset. So it was cool. I enjoyed my time with the Jordan Brand for sure.
Man, I wanna switch gears and ask you a complete random question. And I know the homie's gonna clown me because I don't never watch this, but what's your favorite anime?
I don't watch anime. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Damn. Okay, so we just the same then. I thought everybody watch anime except me.
I don't really watch anime. So if I'm kicking it with somebody, and she watching anime or whatever, you feel me? I'd be tapped in a little bit, like seeing what it's talking about, but I don't tap in on it like myself. Like I can't talk about really no anime or tell you no anime.
And I know that
How's the West Coast been treating you though? Like how do you like the West Coast compared to living like in Florida? I know you got to get used to paying them taxes down too.
Yeah. For sure got to get used to that, but it all come back to you though, one way or another.
yeah.
Marketing with something like, it's definitely pluses and minuses and everything, every situation. But man, I love it out here. I mean, LA really is exactly what you make it. It can be as much as you want it to be. You can step out all the time. You could be on the scene. You could be at every function. You could, man, the bright lights, paparazzi. You could do whatever you want. You can make it as big as you want, or you can make it as chill as you want. And just be off the radar, chilling, cooped up in the crib, whatever the case may be. And you can. So it's up to, I guess, everybody's kind of style. Me personally, I gotta find my happy little balance. Like I like to step out here and there with the homies and do my thing, and maybe go to certain functions or pop-ups that I might need to appear at. But I'm a homebody at the same time too. I like chilling at the crib and minding mine.
Have you thought about any other ventures or acting, comedy, anything like that while you're out there?
Yeah, I definitely have. Certain stuff like has came and will continue to come just organically and naturally, and that's kind of my vibe. It's just for something to come organically and naturally, and then I just vibe with it and go with it in that way. But I am also I'm always in challenging myself to try new things and do new things. So like I said, being out here, you got access to everything. So if I did, in the future want to get in some acting classes, I'm sure I can get plugged in with the right people. To be in the right positions to get in commercials or little cameos, whatever the case may be. So maybe that's something definitely to think about in the long term, but I'm locked in on ball for the most part.
Yeah. I feel like you've already done, like, even if you haven't started that many ventures outside of football, I feel like you've already done a good job of building your brand. Like, people just already know the name Jalen Ramsey just coming into the draft. Like, you already separated yourself pretty good. So if you ever do decide to do something like that, it'll be easy for you to just branch out.
Especially having that personality too, like how you came to your training camp, you came with the truck. Like, I'm saying, always having that ice and bringing that swag to the field. That's persona.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you, kind of like you said, I took pride in that too, and I still take pride in that. It's building my brand in the ways I want to, and even sometimes if it is over the top, and people might not think that I think it's over the top sometimes, but some stuff is over the top, and I even know it's over the top. But sometimes that over the top little moment or little action, it may bring attention to a certain group or a certain company or whoever the case may be. And then once I get a face-to-face with them, once they may have something in their mind, but once I get face-to-face with them and they intrigued by, man, look what he was doing, or man, I'm just intrigued. And then we get to meet and we get to chop it up. They like, yo, he really, like, that's him. That's that guy. And then I'm able to, like, close the deal. You know what I'm saying?
Closing the deal. What was your first big purchase since you was like, when you first was like, yo, I'm in the league, my family straight, my brother straight, my pops, my moms. What was your first big purchase that you was like, yo, I gotta cop this for sure?
Yeah, my first purchase for myself was my dream car. I was always a G-Wagon, so I copped the G-Wagon. That was my first purchase, selfishly.
Going back to like the personality and how you are as a character, what's one receiver or one great you would go against, like personality wise, that you think that it would be a good competition? Like Trash.
I would say Ocho Cinco. Ocho Cinco. That would have been fun. Everybody knows the type of personality he had on the field. If I had to pick one guy that I just know this game would be not only a good challenge, which I like, good competition, but also like a fun game. Like it bring It bring the kid back out of you. It would be him.
I seen
Hey, with
I seen
T.O.
the
too, that
interview.
would have been some shit too.
For sure. T.O. was the second person I had in my mind.
We got like two more questions.
Let me say this. I seen an interview a few years ago, and you said you really enjoy going against DeAndre Hopkins. You think he's a good player. You enjoyed that competition. But let me ask you about that trade to the Cardinals. You think that was a good trade for the Texans?
For the Cardinals, yeah. yeah. It's no way, man. I can play Madden right now and try to trade for D-Hop, and there's no way I can get D-Hop unless I give up.
The whole team, goddamn.
Yeah, the whole team, 3 first rounders, man. Something crazy. So for them to get him, and not give up a first rounder, that's just crazy to me. So I easily, and I think that he's also one of the best receivers, if not the best receiver, my toughest competition in the league. That they easily won the trade. But I mean, Houston. Time will tell. Houston say, they can get David Johnson back to who he was a couple years ago, and if that happens, then what can anybody say?
And what's your what's your thoughts on the new CBA? I know a lot of players was 50-50 on it. A lot of players didn't like it. Some players did. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, man. Selfishly, for me, honestly, it was in my favor for it to get pushed through. As far as like my contract negotiations and stuff coming up, it was in my favor to push it through. But I still voted no for it to not get pushed through because I was kind of thinking about everybody else.
Yeah,
I was thinking about everybody else, and I'm a firm believer in standing on what you believe in. At the end of the day, stand on what you believe in, and the real gonna always last. The real gonna come out on top. So you strongly believe in something, you should stand on that firm. And double down on it, matter of fact. And I've been known to do that in my history, and that's what I was hoping that would have got done with everybody. Because, I mean, say we did hold out and have a lockout for whatever. I mean, maybe we could have forced their hand and got a better deal.
Yeah.
But with that being said, though, it's still a good deal. It's still cool, and I mean, it worked out for me, I guess.
Yeah, because I felt like they knew what they was doing, especially like in your position, you're gonna make that money regardless. But they knew what they were doing with the other players that don't have that caliber. They know they on the cusp and they ain't making that much money, so they know that extra 100,000, 200,000,
Yep,
a big difference. I feel like y'all argue for like more guaranteed money instead of like the marijuana policy or just smaller things like that. I feel like more money is way more important than smoking weed.
Man, they tried to throw some stuff in. They finessed that already, man. When you fail a drug test in the NFL, when you fail a marijuana test in the NFL, you dang near just don't care, or you just you kind of got a little problem or issue or something, because we know when they testing us, we like it's all that was lame, but it is what it is.
Well, no,
that's respect though, because most people wouldn't have still did what you did in that, even though it wasn't exactly what you needed, but most people wouldn't have did that. So that's respect.
Yeah, man. Like I said, man, I think the real are always gonna come out on top regardless. So try to keep it solid.
Hey, last thing I want to say, I don't know about DK or Nip, but hey, if you dream about catching this ball on me, you better wake up and apologize.
We appreciate you joining us, bro. We really appreciate it,
bro. For real.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all, man.
All right.
Yep.
Stay safe.
Yeah, that was a hell of an interview. Shout out to the boy Jalen Ramsey for fucking with More2Say. But shit,
Hey, what do y'all think?
Boy, Juice be too funny for the connect.
Real talk. Appreciate that, Bo. Hey, what do y'all think that the NBA should how should it come back? Should it come back the same as
before we get there, hold on. Before we get there, I just want to say when DK first hit us up and told us that he had the interview, this was my reaction.
Now that's how you supposed to shoot.
Real talk. But what you were saying, Nick?
Real talk. What I was about to say. How do you think if the NBA does come back, how do you think they should do it? Should they do it as the same as always? the 1 through 16 seeding or like a play-in tournament?
I think they should do it how the NHL announced this week. I think they should just put like 20 teams in the playoffs on some like never did before shit. Because they should. I don't think they should switch up the conferences. It would be fine to us as fans, but then you're gonna have other people who's like, this ain't a real championship. They ain't blah blah blah. So just put a couple extra teams in the playoffs would be straight.
Bro, if you ain't have no chance of making the playoffs, you're done. Like I know Damian Lillard, like you're done. Like we just need to go play a couple games and go to the playoffs. Oh, Damian Lillard said, if I really don't have an opportunity to go to the playoffs, I'm not playing. I'm gonna go with my team, but I'm not playing.
Yeah, he said if they doing a play-in style between the 7 and 12 seeds, then like he thinks that's perfect and he's willing to do it. But if not, he said he'll go to practice, but he's not playing in any games.
Yeah, I feel like we just need to go ahead and get to the playoffs, bro.
Yeah.
Nah, they need to have a couple games though. They need to have at least, I think, about 10 to 15 games for warm up, because you don't want these players coming off this long ass break just hopping into a playoff. That's high intensity, bro.
Bro, no, I don't think we need to do that because that's gonna give more chance for Corona to come around, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Nobody's about to be at the Disney thing by themselves and not going out nowhere. Like we need to cut the time down, let them go straight to what they need to do to playoffs, and then get it over with so LeBron can win.
I hate to sound negative, but I personally think that once they start this shit back up, there's no way that not one player is going to get Corona. I think there's going to be a couple niggas that get Corona.
Yeah, you just have to be cool. You just got to be cool with getting it, honestly.
Yeah, it's like a Royal Rumble. Once you get the Rona, you out of here. Let's keep it moving. But yo, what's Shorty name that got the check? I know Scottie Pippen looking at her like, damn, you made more than I did my whole career.
Yeah.
No, I'm just the tennis player. What's her shit?
Naomi Osaka.
Oh yeah. Hey, how
37,
much she got?
37 M's, boy. 37 M's.
Just last year?
Yeah, man.
Last year, she passed Serena Williams.
Yes, sir.
She's still dating Sway Lee? Who the fuck she was dating?
Oh no, she was dating YB and Corday.
Yeah, I was about to say, what the fuck are you talking about?
Nigga.
She's still dating him now?
Nigga, is he still dating her? Nigga, he's dating her. And we talk about 37 M's, he's dating her. Nigga, that's the man.
Yeah, hell you talking about?
He secured the bag. How did Serena Williams never get that though?
Yeah, right. The highest I think she got was like 29 million.
Oh, okay. I thought the highest she got. I thought they said that Naomi beat her out by $1 million.
If she got anywhere close to 30, I ain't mad at it.
I don't know. I'm gonna check. I might check and see real quick. I thought the highest that Serena ever got was like 29.
That's fine. So Naomi, she sounded like Nike or Jordan or one of them.
She got Nissan. I know is one of her sponsors. She signed to a racket company that makes her own rackets.
I mean, it makes sense. Like she's international. Like Serena's still an American brand. Like that, she's international. So I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah,
she can hit more markets than what Serena.
Yeah, she's half Asian.
Yeah, so that demographic, that market's gonna be way bigger. So I mean, it makes sense.
I fuck with it. I definitely support it. Black queen shit. That's what I say.
Yeah, none of that black clown shit. Like what's how you pronounce her name? Azalea Banks.
Talking
about she fucked Dave Chappelle.
I know.
Yo, that's hilarious.
Always, she's off the shits always, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
You think Dave Chappelle really hit that ass?
I don't know. Dave's crazy.
No. What I think happened, I think she really fucked this nigga and thought it was Dave.
Ew.
She fucked Bokeem Woodbine and thought it was Dave Chappelle. Nah, but like, who even interviews Azealia Banks? Like, why does she keep getting like these platforms?
It wasn't an interview. I think she was just laying in bed on live and just started talking shit.
But that's what she's known for. She says the most craziest shit. I ain't like some of her shit be crazy, but kind of like in there. But this one's like, bro, shut up, bro. Like Dave Chappelle didn't hit, bro. It's cool.
So you telling me? I was just about to say, I can't believe that Dave Chappelle walked away from almost $30 million, but he walked right inside. Yeah.
Fuck no.
That's some shit I can't believe, bro.
It's so crazy. I was watching a documentary on him this week. He won the what's that is the highest awarding comedy. I forgot the name of the award. And he has a thing on Netflix. I was watching it. I think it's fire. Dave Chappelle's fire.
Yeah, he's one of the best ever. Dave Chappelle is definitely a great.
Yeah, hands down. Does he still got more shit coming with that Netflix deal? I know they paid him like 40, 60 million, some
I believe he has 2 more, but don't quote me on that. This is more to say. He likes sports, and that's it.
Hey, speaking of that jersey you got in the background is hard, nigga.
Oh, that vintage shit right there.
Yeah.
That's 7.
That vintage shit right there.
Oh, that 7 look little as shit, bro.
Boy, you dumb as fuck. You dumb as fuck, boy.
Like we know you haven't grown since you wore that jersey.
That's prime time Atlanta days right there. You know what I'm talking
That
about?
nigga wore that shit one time and hung it up on the wall.
That's the same shit that the Falcons need to do with his fucking jersey. Don't walk in a young Hoku walking around Mercedes-Benz Stadium wearing that shit. That's
You let him wear
disgusting.
number 7?
Yeah, that's embarrassing. It's a disgrace. And that's why they're jinxed. That's why they, can't win a fucking Super Bowl ring or make the playoffs again.
Because they didn't even retire Deion Sanders' number. So it was like but it was a different owner when Deion played, but still they don't retire nobody's number really.
Hey, is Pennsylvania gonna retire Michael Vick jersey?
Nah, he didn't play there long enough. No, why would we do that? Wow.
Damn it, you had one of the best seasons I've seen in the last.
I don't even think they're gonna retire McNabb's jersey. So fuck they
all right, wrap it up because now we're talking. It's getting late. It's getting late. DK's talking berserk. Like he's wilding, bro.
Shit, we got anything we missed from sports? It's another quarantine edition.
Nah, it's all
covered
good.
It all.
Yeah.
Oh, hey,
so there's
quick,
always more to say. You.
Hey, real quick though, y'all fuck with that Gunna album?
Fuck no.
I fuck with it. That shit got some songs that ride.
I was working out today. That Future shit go hard, but we got less than a minute, bro.
Yeah. All right, I'm just ready to hear Nasty Girl at Follies or at Allure. But
really, your how your music intake is really. I really gotta listen to Gunna while I'm working out, and I'm gonna let y'all know tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. But shit, fuck it. This episode 19, More to Say. We out.